Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about lane positioning, what it means, and how to do it. My name is Zarzi. I'm a diamond player. I've been playing since season 1. I give away free coaching. I love to help people play this game, so I thought I would make this video to help, help the people I love helping. Today I will be teaching you how to visualize zones. Now Riot gives us a basic auto attack zone, so let's look at that first. This auto attack zone will be the basis for all of our zones we're going to be making after this, so this is something you especially need to remember. So I'm going to be teaching you how to apply these zones one at a time to an entire bot lane laning phase. So let's start with the basic 1 versus 1. Here you have me playing Caitlyn, and you have a bot playing Graves. Also, I want to say ahead of time there will be a video later on. This isn't going to be a slideshow. I just want to get the basis of what I want you to be visualizing first. Now here's that same 1v1, but I went ahead and added zone indicators. So this is what I want you to be seeing in your head right now when you look at this. I want you to see your auto attack zone and your opponent's auto attack zone. Now you always want to have yourself positioned in such a way that you can harass and attack your opponent without taking damage, or at least mitigating damage you take. So I want you to notice that within these two zones, my attack zone is right on the edge of him, whereas his attack zone is a little bit further away from me. This gives me the advantage in lane because I can harass him while he can't do anything in return. Now let's throw in another variable. Right now this is a pretty good position for me to 1v1, but let's say there's a jungler. You don't want to be close to that jungle bush, so you want to move a little bit lower. So here is an optimal position for you to avoid a jungle gank. Now you're probably thinking, how can I give the jungler a zone if I can't see him, if he's in the fog of war? Well, you put the zone in the areas where he could come from. So I went ahead and added the jungler zone to the river bush. So now we're keeping track of 3 zones. Our zone, our enemy's AD carry zone, and our jungler zone. So now let's add another variable. Let's add supports. Now these are the zones that we're going to be keeping track of once you finish discussing the support zoning. So I know it's a lot to take in. You're probably like, holy copy pastorino, this is ridiculous. But don't worry, I'm going to break it down step by step. Alright, so first we have your zone. We have Caitlyn's zone. Second, we have Vayne's zone. Third, we have Blitzcrank's zone. And then fourth, this is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. We have Blitzcrank's pull zone. Now you don't have to do this for every support, but most supports have some form of skill shot, CC, or damage. So we're going to be keeping track of Blitzcrank's grab zones. Notice that it's blocked by the minions coming towards me. And then last we have Morgana's zone. Next we're going to be discussing the line of scrimmage and how that translates into the tether of friendship or the triangle of love. It takes 2 to tango, and bot lane is a 2-person job. It's not an AD carry, it's not a support, it's an AD carry and a support. So it's important that you force your other half to work with you. Now I'm going to show you how to keep a tether or a triangle in your head that tells you if you're in a good position with your support or AD carry. Now here we find Morgana and Caitlyn out of position. Now, regardless of skill, yes, you could probably turn this into a kill on Vayne or Blitzcrank. But let's pretend they're both full HP, we're both high level, fairly tanky, you know. So let's say that this isn't going to be a kill, even if we get a Q. Now, Morgana is definitely out of position. I'm going to show you how to double check in your head and make sure that you are the ones out of position and it's not them. Alright, so here's this tether. I want you to notice 2 things. First of all, our tether is much longer than our enemy's tether. Also, Morgana's end of the tether is closer to the enemy than it is to me. Now here's the same thing but with the triangle of love. I want you to notice that their triangle is much smaller. It's much easier to notice a size difference between the leashes with the triangle built onto it. So in your head you can either imagine the leash or the more advanced triangle, and you can see that our triangle is so much bigger. They are so much closer and so much in a better position. It's really easy to tell with the triangle. Now here's a screenshot of a situation which I was breaking every single rule. I was breaking the Blitzcrank's skill shot. I was into Vayne's attack range. I was out of Morgana's, our triangle was a lot bigger than theirs. And also, the jungler's zone was behind me, which you never want to happen. So this is a terrible situation. This is a situation you never ever want to find yourself in. Now here's the same situation in a less obvious format. This positioning almost looks good from a glance, but I want you to see that I am right next to Morgana's shield range. Blitzcrank is in grab range. Vayne's low, but she could kite back. Blitzcrank could pull me to their tower. They could kill me. This is one of those areas where it's very, very, very dangerous. Now, obviously, I would get some hits on Vayne. I would try to kill Vayne, but I would not want to get in that Blitzcrank range unless I immediately saw that Morgana shield on me. Also, the jungler zone is again once behind me, and if you look at the minimap, I don't know where the jungler is. He could be in that bush right now. I don't know. Alright, and before we start putting all this together and looking at videos of gameplay, I want to show one more thing, and that is the correct position for a 1v2 when your support has died or backed for whatever reason. You want to stay kind of low, you want to stay a little bit back, you don't really need to harass, you just want to get some CS, you want to make sure you're not in the jungler range, you want to make sure you're not in any grab ranges or any sort of skill shot ranges. Alright, so let's jump straight into this game. Here I'm playing Draven, and you'll see right away that very naturally bot lane forms to the basic line of scrimmage. Now you'll see as I'm CSing, trying to get aggressive on the enemy, I try to keep my triangle very tight with Thresh. Thresh actually comes towards me, trying to keep the triangle tight also. So far we're doing pretty well. You'll see I have a little bit lower range than Jinx's rockets, so I don't watch my circle for a second, and I get in her circle and she hits me with a rocket immediately. But it's okay because I back off. Now let's skip ahead a little bit, and we'll get to the point where Thresh really pulls the triangle or the leash really, really far, and you'll see here that he is extremely out of position. And you can guess what happens next. Now you can see here, I don't want to go aggressive. I'm hoping he gets the hint, but he doesn't. He stays really far out. The triangle is huge right now. Volibear seeing that, takes a chance, flashes in, and cues him back. This forces a lot of summoners on their part and on our part, and gets both of us kind of low. They come out ahead on this trade because of Volibear's passive, plus their minions attacking us. Now we're going to skip ahead a little bit again, and you're going to see very quickly that I take advantage of our zones, or my zone at least, and their zones to get some free poking on them, some free auto attacks. I can clearly see their zones in my head. I know that they can't retaliate, and I get a little bit of damage on them. Now here I'm going to get ganked, but because I was positioned well, and because I was looking at Rammus's gank zone in my head, I was able to get out alive. Also, thanks to a well-timed heal, I'm able to get Thresh out, and we both live due to our fairly good positioning. Now here I actually want you to watch Jinx. She positions extremely well for this 1v2. She's a little bit lower, she's a little bit far away, she's just going for CS. She does an extremely good job here 1v2ing. Notice her constantly going forward and back, making sure that she's not in my zone or Thresh's zone, making sure she's getting CS, avoiding any danger. Like I said, she does an extremely good job here. This is exactly what you should be doing in a 1v2 situation. Alright, so those are the basics, as well explained as I could, of positioning and seeing zones inside bot lane laning phase. So let's go ahead and go back and summarize everything I said, just to make sure you didn't forget anything. So first, let's go back over basic zoning. These are the 4 zones that you're going to see in bot lane. You're going to see the AD carries zone, the supports zone, your enemy supports zone, and your zone, as well as any skill shot zones. Next, you're going to want to remember to keep track in your head of the tethers and triangles between you and your support and the enemy and their support. You want to make sure that you're always in the better position, that you're almost always tighter, almost always closer together. You want to make sure that there's never too big of a difference, because you want to be able to get to your support as quickly as possible. And lastly, remember the jungler zone. This is such an important zone. Such a huge part of bot lane is the ganks that can snowball the lane. Also remember, buy a ward to save a life. This jungle zone is really only something you need if you don't have a ward. If you do have a ward, you don't have to be scared of that zone because you can see into it. So remember, if you're positioned well, you really can't be killed in lane unless they do some crazy flash play. So position well, win a game, get that elo. If you guys have any suggestions for how I can improve this video, you want to see different videos, you want to see very specific videos, please leave a comment, message me, you know, whatever you want. I love making content. I love helping people. Remember, my whole goal is just to make people better because I enjoy this game, and I figure you can't really enjoy this game if you can't win. So I want you to win. So like I said, if you have anything you want to tell me, just leave a comment. Thanks again. This is RZ.